Please welcome to the stage the Provost of Georgetown University, Robert M. Groves.
It's wonderful to see you all here today. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, we are honored to welcome you as we gather here at Georgetown University to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to a distinguished world leader and statesman. Today we have the pleasure of hosting His Excellency, President Joko Widodo, affectionately known around the world as President Jokowi of the Republic of Indonesia. Georgetown University, an institution where the pursuit of knowledge, cultural understanding, and diplomacy thrive, has a long-standing tradition of hosting world leaders here in our nation's capital to engage with the world's most critical challenges. Today, we continue this tradition by welcoming a leader of a vital nation, which embodies the ideal of democracy, economic progress, and international cooperation. At this moment, the world faces so many seemingly intractable problems. In the face of these problems, Indonesia stands out as an island, or should I say over 17,000 islands, of progress, stability, and hope. Over the last decades, the country has undergone major transformations in its society and economy that have brought great benefits to its people. But as the world's fourth largest country, its third largest democracy, its largest Muslim nation, and as the headquarters of a rapidly rising ASEAN, Indonesia's success has brought great benefits to the entire world. President Jokowi has charted a bold vision for Indonesia, and as he comes to the end of his presidential term, he has achieved dramatic results, from infrastructure development to environmental sustainability, from fostering entrepreneurship to promoting educational advancement. These policies have improved the lives of tens of millions of Indonesians. On the world stage, President Jokowi has played a pivotal role in fostering international cooperation through his leadership in ASEAN and other international fora, advocating for regional stability and international cooperation. His voice on the critical issues of combating climate change and holding the world to account for its commitments to foster a green transition are particularly important as we prepare for the coming COP28 meeting. His visit here in Washington marks the elevation of the U.S. Indonesia relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership, which will foster greater economic and security cooperation, as well as cultural and educational exchanges to deepen the ties across our two nations. Georgetown University is proud to be a part of the deepening relations between the U.S. and Indonesia. At the invitation of the government of Indonesia and with the support of our alumni and friends in the country, Georgetown is in active discussions about how it might increase the level of research and educational activities in Indonesia. We are therefore deeply grateful for the support that he and his administration have provided Georgetown for these discussions. And as we continue to explore the unique opportunity of working in Jakarta, we do so in the spirit of collaboration and mutual understanding, upon which this comprehensive strategic partnership between the U.S. and Indonesia is based. As we gather here today, we have the privilege of hearing from President Jokowi himself on the opportunity from cooperation between Indonesia and the United States. I must note, as the President must head to the White House immediately after his visit here, the program for his remarks and the discussion with Dean Hellman will be brief. So without further ado, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you President Joko Widodo. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to him as he shares his thoughts about us.
President
Joya,
keluarga besar
Georgetown
Gaston,
faculty and
hadirin
staff,
sekalian,
ladies and gentlemen,
selamat siang.
good afternoon.
Oh yes.
Hoyas.
Ini pertama kali
This is the first time that I am speaking
di sebuah
at an
universitas di Amerika
American university,
dan itu
and
adalah
it happens to be
Georgetown
Georgetown
University.
University.
Alasan saya ada
I
dua.
have two reasons for
Yang
being here.
pertama,
First,
Karena ini
because
adalah
Georgetown
universitas
is a
bagus,
great
top.
university, a top university.
Tepuk tangan untuk
Please give a round of
Georgetown
applause
Uni.
to Georgetown Uni.
Yang kedua,
Second,
karena
because
Indonesia dan
Indonesia and Georgetown
akan menjalin
will
kerjasama
be working together,
dan
and Georgetown
akan
will
membuka
open a
kampus
campus
di
in
Indonesia
Indonesia
tahun depan.
next year.
Semoga tidak mundur.
I hope that it doesn't get delayed.
Pendidikan adalah
Education
salah satu
is
prioritas
one of
Indonesia.
Indonesia's top priorities
Karena
because
di tahun
in
2030
2030,
Indonesia
Indonesia
akan mengalami bonus
will be experiencing a
demografi.
demographic bonus.
Sehingga
Thus,
kualitas sumber
the
daya
quality
manusia
of human
menjadi
resources
faktor
will
penentu.
become a determining factor.
Saya harap
And I
nanti
hope that later,
lulusan
graduates
Georgetown
from
Uni
Georgetown Uni Indonesia
juga kelak
can also
bisa menjadi
become
presiden
presidents
seperti
like
Mr.
Mr. Bill Clinton.
Siang ini
This
saya
afternoon,
tidak akan
I will
berbagi
not
tentang
speak
ilmu
about study of negotiations,
ilmu politik,
political science,
apalagi
nor
aljabar.
algebra. No,
It's too complicated.
those subjects are too complicated.
Just leave it
I leave
to
that
the Georgetown
to the
lecturers.
Georgetown lecturers.
They already
They are already
experts.
experts.
Today
Today, I just want to share a story
about
about
Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Has anyone,
Has anyone ever been to Indonesia?
When?
When?
Good.
Good.
Tahukah Anda
Did you know
bahwa
that
Indonesia
Indonesia
memiliki lebih dari
has more than
17,000 pulau?
17,000 islands?
2/3 Indonesia
Two-thirds
adalah
of
air.
Indonesia is water,
Dan penduduk Indonesia
and
sekarang ini
the
hampir
population of
300
Indonesia
juta.
is nearly 300 million.
Indonesia memiliki
Indonesia
714
Has
suku
714 tribes
dan
and
1.100 lebih bahasa
1,100
daerah.
more regional languages.
Dan sebagai
And
negara
as
demokrasi terbesar ketiga
The
dunia,
third largest democracy in the world.
tahun depan
Next year,
akan
Indonesia
ada
will
pemilu,
hold its elections
pilihan presiden
to elect the
dan
presidents and the legislators
atau parlemen,
or
dan
parliament,
kemudian
and
di
also
bulan November
in
akan ada
November there
pilihan
will also
gubernur,
an election for governors,
bupati, dan wali kota.
regions, and mayors.
Pilihan langsung oleh rakyat.
Directly
Gubernur
elected
ada
by the people.
38,
There are 38 governors.
bupati dan wali
There
kota ada
are
514.
514
Dan
regions
setelah
and
itu
mayors,
juga ada
and after that
pilihan
there
kepala
will be
desa
also elections
yang
of head of
jumlahnya
villages
74.800.
in about 74,000 people.
Indonesia adalah negara
Indonesia is a
yang
country
dipersatukan oleh
that is
keberagaman.
united by its diversity.
Bagi Indonesia,
For Indonesia,
perbedaan dan
differences
keragaman
and
adalah
diversity
anugerah.
is a gift.
Dan
And
dalam mengelola keberagamannya,
Managing
Indonesia
its
memiliki
diversity,
panduan,
Indonesia has a
memiliki
guide,
ideologi,
has an
yaitu
ideology called
Pancasila,
Pancasila,
Unity and Diversity,
unity and diversity,
yang
which
menginspirasi di
inspires
setiap sendi
every
kehidupan,
aspect of life,
termasuk
including
kehidupan bernegara.
civic life.
Bagi Indonesia,
For Indonesia,
kompetisi
competition
dan rivalitas
and
adalah
rivalry
wajar.
is natural.
US and China
Competition between US and China,
East and West competition,
East and West competition,
that is natural.
they are natural
normal.
and normal.
Adanya perbedaan
The existence
adalah hal
of
yang
differences is
biasa,
common,
but
but most importantly,
it must be
it
managed
must be
well,
managed well,
agar tidak menimbulkan
so as
konflik
not to cause
terbuka
open conflicts,
yang dapat
which
dipicu
can
ketidakstabilan kawasan.
trigger regional
Sehingga
instability.
yang namanya
Therefore, communication,
room for
room
dialogue,
for dialogue, collaboration,
cooperation,
cooperation
itu menjadi kunci
become key
untuk mencapai
to achieve stability
dan
and
perdamaian,
peace
baik di kawasan maupun
in
di
the region
dunia.
as well as globally.
Indonesia is always
open
to cooperate with any
to
country
cooperate with any country
dan tidak
and
berpihak
not to take
pada kekuatan
the
manapun
side of any power,
kecuali pada perdamaian dan kemanusiaan.
except to take the side of peace and humanity.
Itulah prinsip yang kami
This is the
bawa
principle that we
di
bring
keketuaan
during
Indonesia
Indonesia's chairmanship
di
of
G20
the
dan di
G20
ASEAN,
and ASEAN,
yang dijalankan dalam situasi
which were
dunia yang
carried out
terbelah
amidst a divided
dengan
world
rivalitas
marked
yang
by
sangat tajam
very sharp
dan
rivalry
geopolitik yang memanas. Still,
and increasingly
I
heated
support
geopolitics.
keduanya
Still praise to
dapat
be God,
diselesaikan oleh
both were able to be
Indonesia
resolved by
dengan baik.
Indonesia.
Kemudian banyak yang bertanya,
Afterwards, a lot of people asked,
how could it be?
how could it
How
be?
to?
How to do it?
Then I wanna tell you, the key is
I want to tell you the key is listen
and play a bridging role.
and play a bridging
That's it.
role. That's it.
Kadang
Oftentimes,
kita sering lupa mendengarkan,
we forget to listen,
lupa memahami
forget to try to
kepentingan
understand
pihak lain,
the interests of the other
karakter
party,
bangsa lain,
the character of other countries,
terutama
especially
ini untuk negara
this is
besar
for
dan negara maju
the big and developed
yang
countries
sibuk memaksakan kepentingannya dan tidak
who are
jarang
busy
disertai
imposing their interests,
ancaman.
not infrequently accompanied by threats.
Dunia tidak
While
sedang baik-baik
the world
saja.
is not well,
Instabilitas terjadi di mana-mana.
instability is everywhere.
Perang di Ukraina belum selesai.
While the
Sudah
war in
muncul
Ukraine
perang di
continues,
Gaza.
another war breaks out in
Dan setiap
Gaza,
menit, 10
and
menit,
every 10 minutes,
satu anak terbunuh di Gaza.
one child is killed in Gaza.
Lebih dari 66%
More than
adalah
66% of the victims
korbannya adalah wanita dan
are
anak.
women and children.
Human life
Seems
seems meaningless.
meaningless,
But for me,
but for me,
every life
every life
is
is precious.
This
This is a
humanitarian
Humanitarian problem,
Dan
and
untuk menghentikannya,
end
yang
it
dibutuhkan adalah
requires
global solidarity,
global solidarity,
global leadership,
global leadership, which prioritizes humanity.
Ada sebuah
There's a
kutipan
quote from
dari Presiden
President Abraham Lincoln:
You cannot
"You
escape
cannot escape
the
the responsibility of tomorrow
by
by
evading
evading it today."
kita semua
we all
memiliki
have
tanggung jawab
responsibility
untuk
to
menjaga
keep the
perdamaian
peace, and
dan kita
we
harus
must
tunaikan
fulfill
tanggung
this
jawab ini
responsibility
sekarang
right
juga.
now.
Terima
Thank
kasih.
you.
Please welcome to the stage the Dean of the School of Foreign Service, Joel Hellman.
So on behalf of all of us here at Georgetown University, I want to warmly thank you, President Joko, for honoring us here with your visit on this historic trip to Washington, D.C. I now have the pleasure of asking you a few questions that were received in advance from members of our community. The first is, at this summit meeting that you're about to have with President Biden, they are going to be announcing the upgrading of Indonesia's relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership. What is the importance of upgrading the U.S. Indonesia relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership?
Iya. Amerika adalah negara besar.
United States is a big country,
Dan
and
pengaruhnya
its
pada
influence to
negara manapun juga
any other
sangat
country is
besar.
also very big.
Ekspor Indonesia
Indonesia's
sekarang ini
exports
ke Amerika
to
juga
the
sangat
US
besar. Oleh
is
sebab itu,
very large. For that
ruang harus
reason,
dibuka lebar-lebar untuk
room
memperkuat kerjasama. Ini terkait
has to
baik
be
urusan perdagangan,
expanded for
urusan ekonomi,
trade, for economy,
urusan investasi,
investments,
urusan mineral kritis,
critical minerals,
dan juga transisi
as well as energy transition.
Dan sebagai
And
negara yang
as
kaya akan mineral
a country
kritis
that
dan
is
potensi
rich
energi
with
hijau,
critical minerals and green energy potentials,
dapat
Indonesia
menjadi partner
can
bagi Amerika
become an important partner for the US
karena
because
Indonesia
Indonesia
memiliki cadangan
has
nikel yang terbesar di
the world's largest nickel reserves,
timah terbesar nomor 2
the world's
di dunia,
second largest
dan
tin
juga
deposits, and also
energi hijau.
green energy
Indonesia
potential
memiliki
in
potensi
Indonesia reaching the potential of
3.600
3,600
megawatt, sebuah potensi yang
gigawatts.
sangat besar yang
This is
nantinya
a
itu
tremendous
bisa
potential
dipakai
that can
untuk
be
memproduksi
developed for
produk hijau untuk ekonomi
green
hijau
energy
yang
products,
bisa kita
for green
kembangkan
economy, which we
bersama-sama
can
antara
develop together
Amerika dan Indonesia.
between the US and
Artinya,
Indonesia. This means
semua itu
that
bisa
we
dikembangkan
can
dan
expand this and contribute
bagi kebaikan
for the
Indonesia,
good of
Amerika,
Indonesia,
dan juga
for the good of America,
dunia.
and for the world.
Saya rasa itu.
I think that's all.
Thank you. Under your leadership, Indonesia has embarked on an ambitious plan to move the capital city to Nusantara. How will this new capital city be designed to address issues such as sustainability, livability, and economic development?
Iya. Nusantara,
Nusantara,
New Capital City ini adalah
new capital
konsepnya
city, the
adalah
concept is
smart,
a smart forest city,
kota modern
a
yang
modern
ramah lingkungan.
city that is
70%
environmentally friendly, 70% of it
Kawasan hijau,
is a green zone,
kawasan hutan yang sekarang
a
ini
forest area which is a monoculture at the moment and will be
perbaiki menjadi sebuah
expanded into
hutan yang
a heterogeneous forest,
yang akan mendekati tropical
which will
rainforest dan
become close to a tropical rainforest, and 80% will
transportasi publik,
use public transportation,
kendaraan listrik, dan
electronic vehicle
penghuninya
transportation,
100%
and its inhabitants is 100%
harus
must
menggunakan kendaraan
use
listrik,
electric
sehingga
vehicles,
nanti akan
so that later
menjadi
it
kota
will
yang
become
betul-betul
a city that will truly
kota yang betul-betul hijau, yang
truly be a green city,
layak
that
untuk
will be
dihuni bersama-sama.
livable
Sehingga yang
for
pertama
all.
dibangun di ibu
And
kota
that's why the first thing
Nusantara
that we
adalah
built in the Nusantara capital
yang
city
pertama kita bangun adalah
was
Nursery
a
Center,
nursery center
Botanical
with
Center,
a botanical
yang
center,
setiap tahunnya
and where every
menghasilkan
year
bibit
produces
kurang lebih
around
15 sampai
15 million
16 juta
seedlings,
bibit yang itu nanti akan
which will
ditanam
later will be
baik di ibu kota
planted in the
Nusantara
Nusantara
maupun
capital
di
city as well
Pulau
as
Kalimantan.
the
Sehingga
Kalimantan Island.
kawasan
Therefore,
itu menjadi kawasan yang
the region
sangat hijau
will
dan
become
juga
a very
pembangkit
green
listriknya
region, and the
adalah energi hijau,
electricity
baik dari
generator
solar panel
will come from
maupun
green
dari
energy from solar panels
hydropower.
as well as from hydropower.
Dan
And
kita harapkan
we hope
ini akan bisa
that
kita
we can
huni, kita mulai huni nanti
begin
di Agustus
to
2024.
inhabit in August 2024.
I'm now pleased to present you with a gift on behalf of the entire Georgetown community. You know what a Hoya is. You mentioned it in your opening remarks. And we, because we're beginning, we hope, a long relationship with the Republic of Indonesia, and we appreciate your support, we wanted to make you an honorary Hoya. And the best way to do that is to make you part of our basketball team. Terima kasih, Pak. You got to get the other side, yeah. Terima kasih, Pak. Now, I would like to invite for an official photo one of our strongest partners in Indonesia, the Minister of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology, Nadiem Makarim. He has been, please come up to the stage. He's been a bold leader in pursuing innovation in Indonesia's higher education sector. And I want to thank Minister Makarim for his steadfast support as Georgetown explores a deeper engagement with the future of Indonesia and the Asia-Pacific region. And if I can invite the head of our Asian Studies program, Yuki Tajima, and Provost Groves for a photo. Can we do here? Where would you like us? And finally, one last thing. At the request of the president, he has invited you to be in a Gaston Hall selfie. So, if I could ask the audience to rise, the president will come here in the stage for a Gaston Hall selfie as the final picture of today's event. And thank you all for coming.